All right, for this video, I wanted to give you a quick update on the 2022 tax refund statuses. And I also wanted to cover a quick example of a taxpayer that filed a return that said they were getting X number of dollars as a refund, but when the refund actually cleared and hit their bank account, it was much less. So if that happens to you, it means the IRS adjusted your return somehow, kind of behind the scenes. And so obviously you want to figure out why to make sure that whatever changes they made were correct. And if they're not, then you can follow up with them to make sure that you get all the money that you are due. So as far as return updates, it's more the same from earlier this week, right? A lot of taxpayers that filed early are now starting to get their refunds. They're actually seeing them clear the bank accounts. Or at a minimum, you can log into the Where's My Refund portal, or you can download an account transcript and you'll actually see some progress, right? The return is processed, a refund has been released, or you have a anticipated direct deposit date, right? So that's all good information to see. Now, as far as an example where you get a tax refund that's deposited, but it's not what you anticipated. So what went wrong? Well, you have to do a little detective work, right? You've got to kind of figure out, well, what was it that I filed versus how much I received, and where's the difference? Where's the gap in the tax refund? So in this example, we're going to look at an example here with John. He's filing a Form 1040. He's a single filing taxpayer. He has one child. So he's doing the return himself, and he sees a different refund amount. So the Form 1040 that he filed, he got a tax refund of $4,500. That's what he thought was going to get deposited into his account. So if you have your Form 1040 in front of you, what you're looking at is Form 1040, page 2, line 35A, right? That's the amount that should be paid out to you based on how you completed the return. But the amount that John actually got credited to his bank account was only $2,960. So there's a gap there of $1,540. So John is looking at this, he's trying to figure out what happened. So if we take a look at the 1040, we discover two big issues, right? So the first one is related to the child tax credit. Now, if you're looking at your Form 1040, line 28 is where you claim the refundable child tax credit portion. And this number flows from Form 8812. So John has one child who's 10 years old, so he's a qualifying child, and given his age, he gets a $3,000 child tax credit. If the child was under 6, he would get $3,600, right? Now, what John forgot to do here was he forgot to account for the advance payment feature, right? So in 2021, the child tax credit was increased from $2,000 to $3,000 and then $3,600 for the children under 6. But they also had the advance payment feature, right? The IRS was actually cutting you a check starting in July, small monthly payments, July through December, which would be an advanced portion of your child tax credit. And so when John completed his 8812, if you open your 8812 and you've got it in front of you, what we're focusing in here is Part 1B, line 14F. Right? On line 14F of Part 1B, you're supposed to report the amount of advance payments you already received, okay? So John, he got $1,500 over the course of July to December in advance payments, and he forgot to list that on Part 1B, line 14F. So he just had a zero there. That's the first issue, right? The IRS knows they sent you these payments. You forgot to have it reflected on your 8812. And so, yes, John is entitled to a $3,000 child tax credit, but he already got $1,500 of it as the advance payment feature. So he's only really eligible to claim the remaining amount, which is the remaining $1,500. So that's the first problem John has with his return. The second error has to do with his federal withholding, right? So your federal withholding from your wages, if you look at your W-2 that you got from your employer, Box 2 is the federal withholding amount. This federal withholding amount is transferred to line 25A of your Form 1040. Now, obviously, if you have multiple jobs during the year, that 25A number on your 1040 is going to be an aggregate of all of them. But in John's case, he just had the one job. So he's looking at his W-2, Box 2, and now he's looking at his Form 1040, Box 25A, and he notices he got the amount wrong. What he did was he entered $2,950 on his 1040 when the W-2 withholding was actually only $2,910. So what happened here was John overstated the amount of federal withholding tax by $40. It's a common mistake. I see it happen all the time. And so the IRS, when they look at your return, they're going to cross-check the W-2 information versus what's on your 1040. And if there's a variance, they're going to fix it automatically. And that's what happened. So if you combine John's omission with the 8812, that $1,500, plus the overstatement of withholding, the $40, that's where we get the $1,540 difference. So it's not an easy way to kind of figure out what the IRS did, but it's a necessary exercise. You really have to look at your return and ask yourself, well, the IRS did all these adjustments automatically, right? And so what is it that I did wrong to make them want to adjust the return that way? Now, obviously, the IRS makes errors. I mean, let's to be clear, the IRS makes mistakes all the time, and I have to get my taxpaying clients out of a mess. But there are a lot of issues there. It's taxpayer error, examples like these, and so that's why they are adjusting your return. So you really want to carefully review your tax return, carefully review all the supporting documents you use to prepare the return. So your W-2s, your 1099s, if you made estimated payments, all of this kind of stuff. But pay close attention to these kind of issues. These are probably the number 1 and 2 issues I'm seeing across the board for at least this year, because people are flat out just forgetting that they got an advanced child tax credit payment, and then there's always transposition errors, keying in numbers to the tax software regarding how much in federal withholding you had, how much in estimated payments you made, how much carry forward you had from prior years. So these are some of the problem children that we're seeing. So again, pay close attention to your return. If there was a variance, it might be related to these issues. I'll do another video tomorrow covering some other examples that I'm seeing, but from what we gather this year, these are definitely 2 of the main problem areas: the child tax credit and then the recovery rebate credit. I'll do a video tomorrow on that. The third stimulus payment for the recovery rebate credit has been a problem as well. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment below. And I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow on the next video. Thank you.